And welcome back to White Claw Wednesdays, episode 114.
Yeah.
It's almost surreal. We just keep these numbers going.
They just keep getting higher and higher. Just like...
We just keep going. We just keep going, people.
Just like Tom Brady.
And we just keep talking. Hey,
he's back.
Good. But let's crack
it
these.
to Tom Brady, the GOAT, back in the NFL.
Get one of these early.
Making me happy. Cheers.
Even though I don't
what's
going on with yours, dude?
Oh, I cracked it with a lot of oomph.
Oh.
Yeah, so it gave a little spray. So Tom Brady was retired for 40 days, and then he announced he's returning to the Buccaneers. Some say that he did this to try to...
Do you want to just kill this with me right now, dude?
Different idea.
I'm about to just kill this, dude. I don't know if I could just keep sipping on this. You can. This has got to be the worst iced tea.
That's the worst flavor
when it's warm.
Here's my question: When you say kill this right now,
I had this last week too.
Do you mean kill it and like not get a second? Because
not get a second.
Just kill it.
Unless you want a second.
I don't want. See, that's the thing.
I don't either.
I don't want a second, but I kind of like the idea of killing it just for the sense of my drive and not having to pee and getting all the liquid in me right away. So that way, when we're done with the episode, it's
you
time
ready?
to pee.
Let's just save one sip for the last.
Have we ever done this before?
I don't think so, dude.
Okay. First time.
All
First
right.
ever White Claw
Here we
show.
go. All right. I have the perfect amount of one sip left. Dude, that was a chug right there. I even get a little spillies on my chin here.
I also have one sip left.
I'm sorry you guys had to hear that. Sometimes, I mean, this was a first, so I shouldn't say sometimes, but sometimes you're not feeling a warm claw, by the way, because these are warm. All right.
Ooh, out-of-body experience over here.
Okay. Tom Brady. So Tom Brady. What do you have to say? Because I got things to say, too.
Okay, so people think that the reason why he did this whole retirement announcement was to try to, like, secretly go and, like, look around and see if anybody else wanted to, join forces with him and, get something going. Because apparently he was...
Is there intel on this, or you just think this is
this is intel. This is what I'm seeing on my sports shows. My sports shows. My sport... See,
explain that a little bit.
You got your sports shows. You have people who talk for 2 to 3 hours on whatever show, whether it be ESPN, Fox Sports, YouTube, whatever platform it is. A lot of sports shows. All these people are insiders in the sense where they have connections with people who are either coaches, general managers, former players.
They've got a little bit of say or a little bit of intel.
They got intel. So I listen to what these sports people say and the rumors they talk about, and I take them as like,
you take them with a grain of salt.
Take them with a grain of salt, but also take them with some truth in the sense of where like these people are getting paid a lot to do this, and they have background and they've been doing this for so long.
Right.
So basically, Tom Brady's upset with Bruce Arians, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Really?
He's over his style. He wants to move on. Apparently, Sean Payton, former coach of the New Orleans Saints, won a Super Bowl with Drew Brees on the Saints, recently retired. Apparently, there was a little retirement rumor going on that Sean Payton went to Tom Brady after they both retired and said, hey, why don't you and me unretire, go to the Dolphins, and, win together, basically. And that's the same division that the Dolphins are in the same division as Bill Belichick and the Patriots, Tom Brady's former team.
But
so, like, how about you go and you whoop on Belichick 2 times a year for the next couple seasons with me as the coach, and then like just a few days after this rumor started, Dolphins former head coach, who they had just fired, Brian Flores, started a lawsuit against the NFL and the Dolphins for discrimination and basically trying to pay him to lose games.
I thought that was a while ago.
No, this happened. This lawsuit happened right. So when
the season ended.
So this was during the playoffs that this lawsuit came out. Yeah,
the regular season.
January of 2022 this year.
I remember seeing this.
So Tom Brady loses to the Rams in the playoffs, and like a week after that loss or something like that, he announces his retirement. Yeah. Then the whole Brady Sean Payton rumor, comes
circulating,
starts circulating, and then a couple days after that, boom, Brian Flores drops the lawsuit on the Dolphins and the NFL, which basically puts the Dolphins in the corner of we need to hire someone who isn't white. to be our head coach because we've just now been called out by our former black head coach for, discrimination and trying to pay him to win games. I mean, lose games. Yeah, for better draft picks. And pay him, obviously he's getting paid to win games. So the Dolphins went in a different direction, and
it was something crazy though. It was something like $100,000 a loss. That's what the rumor was.
Yeah,
right?
no, that was it was substantial.
It was like a crazy figure, yeah.
And then the whole Tom Brady rumor got shifted again to where they were when he first left the Patriots, which was he wants to go to the 49ers because he grew up in the Bay Area rooting for Joe Montana.
Hayward born.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I don't know about Hayward. But
San Mateo.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Bay Area for sure.
Yeah.
Grew up a Joe Montana 49ers fan.
Which is ironically closer to the 49ers stadium than San Francisco is. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, because Santa Clara. Yeah.
Because it's in Santa Clara. Anyways, go ahead.
So apparently he did this when he first left the Patriots, tried to join the 49ers. And the 49ers said, no, we're sticking with Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And then that's where the famous quote from Tom Brady said, like, you going with that motherfucker? Like that. And it's now kind of been debunked, like figured out, the truth's come out that was the 49ers. And then fast forward a couple seasons in Tampa. Now he's retiring, looking for a new team to unretire to. He comes back to the 49ers. Again, this is a rumor. This is not going to work. Goes back to the 49ers and says again, hey, let's do this, And then they say again, no thank you. We have Trey Lance, our quarterback we drafted for last draft, and we sat him on the bench for a season, just this last season. And now we want to see if he could become our starter because we're going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, who was that motherfucker who they went with a couple years ago over Brady. So now they've chosen Jimmy G over Brady once, and now, again, apparently Trey Lance over Tom Brady. So Tom Brady's gotten turned down for the 49ers twice. So this sort of turns into like, okay, is he coming back? Because he said, I'm coming back to the Buccaneers, unfinished business.
That's what I read.
Is the unfinished business. I'm back here to, kick the team's asses that are still turning me down, who I'm trying to play for.
Yeah,
like, basically, I retired to try to find another team because I was kind of tired of this Bruce Arians guy. Yeah. And nobody would take me that I wanted to go to. And so now I'm kind of pissed about that. So I'm just going to go back to the Bucs.
It's like vengeance.
Exactly.
He's got a vendetta now. Yeah.
So that's the vibe I get from his unretirement announcement. And also, it's sort of like
I'm sorry. If I was a head coach, I would drop everything for Tom Brady.
I would too.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
the guy is still firing on all cylinders.
Dude, he led in pass yards and passing touchdowns last season. So he
was in the MVP talks this season.
He was basically second to Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people think that he should have won MVP over Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. But yeah, no, he hasn't fallen off the cliff. He's been great his entire career, and he's healthy enough to keep playing. And he's just it feels like he's one of those guys who only wants to play football.
I'm glad that you gave the whole take on your point of view and what you've been hearing. Mm-hmm. In my perspective, this is all I've heard. Yeah. Okay, he was at the Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur game recently. I think it was this past week.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, Cristiano Ronaldo, who is what age? 37, I believe, scores a hat trick.
Which is 3 goals, right?
Which is 3 goals. Yeah. And this hat trick is world class, man. It's insane. 1, banger outside the box. 2, just a classic tap in. And 3, a nice header while he's like getting fouled. And he basically like falls on his back. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Could you imagine if they were that in soccer? That'd be great. So that happens after the game. No one was talking about during the game. No one was talking about it. There wasn't any tweet. Oh, Tom Brady, is at the game. Blah, blah. Yeah. After the game, Tom Brady and Ronaldo are seen taking photos and having a conversation. Yeah. And so in my eyes, it was like, oh, Ronaldo was the catalyst. Like, Tom Brady sees this guy, 37 years old, still scoring hat tricks, top of the world,
And he's like, why would I? Because he's thinking about how he just did his own hat trick of leading in touchdowns and passing yards. Yeah. And he's like, why would I step away when I just had my own hat trick?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
When I can still do that right now.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what I think some people want to see is him like play till he sucks. Which is what he said sometimes that he would do. Play till
How old is he?
He's going to be 45 once the season starts. So he's 44 and he's turning 45 soon before the start of the season.
I got to look up how old Ronaldo is.
He's going to be 45.
I want to confirm.
37 for a soccer player.
It's different. It's different.
It's also 37 is also pretty old for a football player.
Well, it depends what position.
It depends on what position, but even a quarterback at 37 is getting up there.
totally misspelled Ronaldo.
But it's funny to see Tom Brady do this thing that
he
Brett
is
Favre has done.
37 years old.
37. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't see Brady as someone who would do this. Someone who does the whole retire, unretire thing.
Yeah,
Because
this
has happened a lot with like some of the biggest names in sports: Michael Jordan, Brett Favre.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two names that come to mind. There's probably more, but I just didn't think he would do that.
Gronkowski did it too.
Yes, Gronkowski did
well,
too.
he's a different story because he waited at
And
least
also-
a respectable amount of time before saying,
But-
I'm unretiring.
But you know what's funny about him is that he only retired because they were trading him to the Lions.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know
He
that.
tells a funny
So
story
tell
about
me,
it.
What happens in that scenario, right? Like, obviously the player can retire whenever he wants, right?
Yeah.
They can't force him to play.
Well, that's
But-
what he got a phone call saying, "Hey, you're coming to the Lions," and he said, "Oh no, I'm retired."
Yeah, but what happens? Do they still pay out his contract? Like,
That's
how
the
does
thing
it work?
about a Gronk story. There's not a lot of details in there. He was telling a funny story on TV, so we didn't really have time to go into the logistics of.
I see.
Basically, he's like, yeah,
But that's what he said.
I got traded. Yeah, what he said is, I got traded to the
yeah.
Lions. I told the Lions I retired, and
I've seen that.
and
I've
I
seen
ended
that.
up coming back to the Patriots
I've
next
seen-
season.
yeah.
And I was just like, and I remember watching. I was just like, wait, there has to be something that happened there that isn't being
No,
said.
I mean, there's agents and all that stuff
yeah,
involved. But
because it just can't be that easy.
but he's trying to sell a story.
It's funny though.
I like the story better.
Especially with the Detroit Lions because they suck.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Why would you want to go play with them when you've been playing on the Patriots your whole career?
Who knows? Maybe him and Stafford could have made a run for it.
I know, right? But dude, that's what's crazy about Matthew Stafford. He had Calvin Johnson, who was a great wide receiver in the early 2010s, and they never went anywhere together. It really feels like that franchise is just
Doomed.
It's just cursed. It's just doomed. Like
They weren't that bad.
they haven't won a playoff game since the 60s.
That hurts, dude. That hurts.
I mean, that's right there. It's just like that's kind of sums it up right there.
Detroit, man.
Like I'm pretty sure they are the probably the longest drought of a playoff win in all like professional sports.
Yeah.
Because even the Kings, because the Sacramento Kings in the NBA, they're currently the longest drought, of not making the playoffs. But their drought is like, I think it's like 14 years, and that's nothing compared to. And I know for a fact the Kings had Chris Webber in 2003-ish, early 2000s, and they were making the playoffs then. So they definitely had at least one playoff win back then. So there's nothing that really compares to the fact that when you're talking about lacking playoff wins and just making the playoffs, the Lions are at the top of that heap.
I wonder if it has to do with, or like I'd love to see the correlation between lack of playoff wins and like people leaving the city that you're in. Because
Like players leaving.
Just people.
Like just people
and
moving out of the city.
Yeah,
like just population, like population change. Like is the population in an
like
area
an exodus?
high? Yeah,
because Detroit's, I mean, people have been leaving Detroit for a while now. I think their population keeps going down and down.
I assume so. Yeah, I mean it's known as, it's kind of,
last time I checked, that's what happened. So
it's sort of like the butt of the joke of like a shitty place to live in America.
Oh, Detroit, yeah.
And I hate to say it because like
what's crazy
I've
is
never
it
been
used
there.
to be. Neither have I.
It's
so I don't even know.
So I don't even want to. Like, I'm not even going to put it there. It could be. I could go there and have the greatest time of my life.
Well, all I know Detroit for is
Motor City.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
building
like,
automobiles.
Automobiles used to be
an 8 Mile
built
starring
there.
Eminem.
So I wonder if they still are.
You ever seen 8 Mile?
I have, but I don't.
Because he works at
recall it that well.
at an auto factory. Yeah. Between the rap battles.
Right.
That's a good movie. Do you know Eminem was supposed to play Billy Hope in Southpaw?
No way.
But he chose to focus on working on the soundtrack for the movie, and they cast Jake Gyllenhaal.
Why?
Isn't that better though? But it's also
tough.
one of those
I'd love
parallel.
to see both.
Yeah,
I'd love to see
exactly,
both.
dude, exactly. Like the thought of Eminem getting super ripped and like doing a boxing movie,
and like a lead role in a boxing movie, just in general, I think is. I'd love to see a lot of people in that role.
Exactly. And that's what was so cool about Jake Gyllenhaal getting the role, though, is that it's just added another to his versatility.
Versatility. Yeah,
versatility.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, have you seen the trailers for the new movie that he's in coming out called Ambulance?
No.
It's the new Michael Bay movie. So I know you'll be.
Really?
I know you'll be
Yeah.
entertained.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's about a couple bank robbers who pretty much use an ambulance as their getaway vehicle.
Classic.
That's all you need to know. And Jake Gyllenhaal's he's the mastermind of the bank robbery. And did you see Aquaman? Did you see Aquaman?
There's only one, right?
There's only one.
First
Jason
one.
Momoa. Yeah. Do you remember Black Manta, the guy with like the
absolutely
the laser eyes?
Yep.
Okay, that actor. He's the other. It's him and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, but you never see. Do you see Black Manta unmasked?
Yeah, you do. You first meet him unmasked. You meet him unmasked.
Oh, really? Okay, I don't remember.
And he also played. He has a hard to pronounce last name. I mean, first and last name. So I don't really want to mess it up. But he was also the star. He played Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen HBO series. He's been doing a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, he's in this movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, and it looks just like a classic like Michael Bay action movie.
Dude, I was gonna say, what movie did I just watch that had to do with being like a getaway driver? It's Drive.
It's Drive. Yeah, it's Drive. Yeah.
Even though I watched it, 10 years later or whatever it's been. So.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Did you watch it? But didn't you watch it like super when you watched it like the day we came back from the bachelor party, right?
I think so. Yeah. Well, I watched half of it one day.
We were watching it on the boat.
Yes, that's right.
And I don't know how much of it you were watching.
Well, I was trying to be funny because
you were saying
I watched
because the noises of the boat you thought were part of the movie.
Dude,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And it sounded so much better. I mean, I watched it the second time. I was like, this is kind of lame. No, but I was trying to be funny on the boat too because, I would come and go as like people were watching it. Like me and Sam went upstairs and we were talking. And they come back and I'd be like, catch me up. It's like an hour in. Catch me up.
Oh, I could have caught you up, but I was passed out on the bed.
So this ambulance movie.
Yeah.
It's Michael Bay. Is it on Netflix?
Oh, see, dude. Yes. And I almost forgot the point I was going to make. I swear.
I know, because we went on a tangent. That's how I brought it back.
It started out as a Netflix movie. Like when I first saw the trailer. I first saw the trailer for it, I think, like December of last year or beginning of this year.
Really?
I saw a trailer for it, and it had Netflix original on it. And then fucking fast forward 2.5 months later, and I'm seeing a trailer for it in the movie theater, and at the end of it says pops up only in theaters. And I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
Either I just got mixed up or Netflix got the rights bought from them after they already released trailers, which would seem to me kind of crazy. But
that's strange.
Now,
or they could be adjusting. The studio could be adjusting to the current market in terms of movies, because I feel like movies are on the comeback. People love a good movie now.
I think they are. Like
when we went to the movie theaters to see Batman, take this with a grain of salt, but Batman's a popular movie, but the movie theater was popping.
Oh yeah.
So
a movie like that just gets people out.
Dude, did you ever watch that movie that I was telling you about that one time about Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's a 911 operator, and he's trying to help this girl who is...
Oh yeah, that was a Netflix original. Yeah,
that was a Netflix original.
I watched that with Scott and Sam.
The Caller.
Yeah, The Caller. Yeah. That was a pretty good movie. That had a good twist.
It was a great movie.
I
thought it was a great movie. Yeah. So he's coming off that, right?
That was his last thing. Yeah.
That was a great movie because it was literally just him the entire time. That's what was so cool about it. It was like just him talking to this lady and feeling the emotion of being on a phone like that, and Also, the woman was a great voice actor too. I thought, at least. Yeah.
So I'm not. I think I might be going crazy. Like
what were you even looking up?
Well, I was looking up to see if Ambulance was ever like originally a Netflix original, but I'm not seeing anything for it. So maybe I don't know. Sometimes you consume so much stuff.
Where are you seeing ads for Netflix though?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Netflix doesn't really run ads like that, do they?
No, okay. There's a lot of movie trailer channels on YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh, like a fuck ton. Not even just like the Fandangos and the Netflixes and the
Netflix Film Club.
There's more than just like the studios have their YouTube pages where they post their trailers, but then there's also like the movie clips dot something or like the movie there's just like there's third party trailer releasers who will take a trailer and then release it on their channel.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of like, for some reason I just have a memory of seeing one of those third party trailers with a Netflix new movie ad on it, and it was this Jake Gyllenhaal ambulance movie. And then like I said, I see the trailer in the theater, and now it says only in theaters, and now I'm thinking, okay, the internet has just I've just gotten overstimulated to the point where like I just got my trailers crisscrossed, is what I'm saying.
Maybe you were watching the end of one and you thought it was the beginning of another.
Yes.
Did you ever watch those? They're like, I don't want to say compilations, but they're like, movies to watch in 2022, and it's like 10 trailers, one after another.
Yes.
Could have been then.
Could have been that. Could have been that. Also could have been me just mixing up the caller with like the ambulance trailer.
Oh, maybe.
You know,
could
like
be.
I see them close together within the first time, and then like they stick in my mind. They kind of blend together. I put them in my head both as Netflix movies, and it kind of makes sense to me that The Ambulance isn't a Netflix movie because Michael Bay, he's pretty.
Oh, he wants big budget
he's
stuff.
He's big time. Like he wants his movie in the movie theater. Which again,
what
now that
studios,
I'm saying it out loud, makes me think that I don't think it was ever a Netflix movie.
Studio is.
I'm assuming it's Paramount. That's only because. But that's only because Paramount Studios has a whole section of its studio that's Michael Bay Avenue.
Really?
Yeah, and Paramount did all the Transformers movies.
Right. So
I'm just jumping to the conclusion that they're still buddies with him. So
nice. Well, I'm glad it's in the theaters, to be honest. At first during the whole pandemic, I was like, oh, I love how movies are releasing on
the HBO Max.
But I don't know. Maybe
but then you fall asleep during Dune.
Maybe, yeah, exactly.
That's what you get.
Yeah, relatable. Maybe I'm changing my mind a little bit. Like, I was thinking that way before I had gone to a movie in a year, or it had been a year rather.
Yeah.
And I forgot the environment, and you just get into the movie more, I think. And I don't know, do you feel as if, I think we said it yesterday, but not as much because of the war, or not yesterday, but last week, not as much because of the war in Ukraine, but do you feel that things are getting back to normal?
I do.
At all? I mean, I'm back at work, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm working in an office.
Yeah, you're going to an office.
Or at least I have the choice to.
Which
is just like...
And Scott's going in person to work on Friday.
For the first time.
Yeah. So the in-person thing is starting back up again, and also the mask rules have just kind of
out the door,
gone away.
Even in the office, and you don't have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
So I don't even bring one. Well, it's in my bag, but I don't even use it.
And like the malls and movie theaters I've been going to the last few weeks, no masks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like the Spectrum at Irvine, California.
Irvine?
There's no. They got Orange County is doing the no mask.
You're at the Spectrum a lot, huh?
Yeah.
I literally work right there.
That's awesome.
Like
really?
Like a 3-minute drive.
That's very. Yeah. No, I go to the Spectrum a lot. Because it's right where Gracie lives. So.
You know what I hate about Irvine though? It's terrible for walking.
Oh my God!
I mean, you can't walk
anywhere
without a car.
No. It's also boring. The look, the feel.
Oh yeah.
It
I agree.
It feels like there's almost like no character to it in the sense where there's no. It feels like there's no history. It feels like that you're in a city that has existed since like 2010.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's been around for only 10 years.
Dude, it's funny that you said that because my coworker, he's this Russian guy. He came here during when Russia was still the Soviet Union.
Oh, whoa.
And so he immigrated here, and he's been living in like Ladera Ranch, Santa Margarita, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
For a while. And he was telling me about how this area has just become such a new boom. I don't even know if that's the right way to describe it, but he said before you'd have to go to like Anaheim or even LA or Santa Ana to, work, but Irvine just sort of came out of nowhere. And he was talking about the Spectrum. And do you know where the theater? You know where the theater's at, obviously. Right?
That's where I've seen Spider-Man, Batman, all the big ones recently.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a nice theater.
It is a super nice theater. So, and do you know that section of the Spectrum where it's kind of like outdoorsy shops where you walk in the middle of it, and there's shops on the round, and there's a fountain in the middle. It's right by Cheesecake Factory.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I know the exact spot.
The original Spectrum, when they first built it, was just that theater, which used to be Edwards, which I don't know if Regal bought Edwards or Edwards bought Regal, but anyways.
Because Edwards is a chain that I see like the only times you see an Edwards anymore is it's old.
Yeah, there's an Edwards in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was just that theater and that little shopping section.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing else in the Spectrum, which is massive.
Dude, the Spectrum is.
You can literally spend an hour and a half walking.
Yes.
Like
it's
just
a long
zigzagging
walk,
through
dude.
everything.
Like there's multiple parking structures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the amount of electrical car chargers in the parking structure.
Oh, yeah. Well, they gotta have them.
It's awesome.
They gotta have them.
It's
Well, that's
so
how they
awesome.
get their business.
A
lot of the
it's
people
sweet.
that are renting in Irvine, you can't. Usually, you can't charge up your car.
Yeah.
At your apartment.
Yeah.
If they do have chargers, there's not enough because everyone in Irvine's trying to go electric, trying to do their thing,
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, they have to have them there, and they get business that way. Yeah. But it's just crazy how this place is just, I don't know, came out of nowhere really.
It does seem like that.
In my opinion, they built it so poorly. I mean, what are you doing? Like, you have to drive everywhere to go to lunch.
Yeah.
I have to drive.
Yes.
I'm a 3-minute drive from the Spectrum. Like,
but you still have to drive.
I still have to drive.
Yeah, no, it's built for cars.
I mean, I guess I don't have to, but there's literally these massive intersections.
Yeah, massive, huge roads.
There's no bike lanes.
Everything is like 45 plus.
It's
every
like
zone.
you see a walker out. It's like, whoa, like what's happening right now?
Yeah. And even when you're at the Spectrum, you got to walk a lot. It's big.
And okay,
you almost want a golf cart. You almost want a golf cart to drive around the Spectrum. It's so
dude,
big.
that would be cool if Dell offered golf carts for lunch. I'm more upset, honestly, at who's building like the business centers too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't want to go off a tangent here, but
please do.
It's like you've got the Spectrum, right? And the Spectrum's just, oh my God, it's the Spectrum. Everyone goes to the Spectrum. And then you've got businesses around it, and it's just like, I feel like these businesses were just feeding off of the Spectrum vibe, that they didn't build in places to eat within their business complexes, And these complexes are massive.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I mean, if you walked around the business complex that Dell's at, it would probably take you 20 minutes to walk the entire thing.
But there's no food places.
There's no food places. Because they're all meant for businesses, companies.
They kept it totally separate. It's like separation of church and state.
Exactly.
It's like you want to go to church, you got to go to Spectrum.
It's like we don't offer anything like that.
They're trying to keep it all in the Spectrum like that.
I don't know.
So
I
big.
think they're just I don't know. Maybe they were like, oh, we'll get more money if we rent out to a company rather than a food place. I don't know how it works, but
but it's like it feels like they have, if you want food or to basically, if you want a product that's given to you through customer service, you have to go to this zone.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised that most of the businesses were built by the same company that built the Spectrum.
Oh, I bet.
Because they're like, we want people at the Spectrum.
Probably Illuminati.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
maybe.
I'm not saying it's Illuminati.
I'm gonna look it up, dude.
I'm just saying it's sort of like, it's along those lines of like conspiracy theories of, oh, this big company is doing X to create Y. It's like my thought of why the roads always suck. Why are there always potholes and like just mess, like just things going on the road. It's because they want your tires to wear down more, so you end up spending more on your car to keep. I don't know. That's one of my
dude.
I'm tangenting right now, but it's kind of like, I think the same thing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The Irvine Spectrum Center, get this, is an outdoor shopping center developed by the Irvine Company.
Yeah, the Irvine Company. Yes, the Irvine Company.
What the hell is the Irvine Company?
Dude, the Irvine Company. Now you want to talk about Illuminati? That's Illuminati.
Really?
I mean, I think
is
so.
it?
I think so.
Is it a public?
I don't know
company?
what it is, but it's the Irvine Company, dude.
The Irvine Company.
The Irvine Company.
Dude, what the heck? The mall features. Dude, I wonder what my business center is. What company built that? If it's the Irvine Company, I'm gonna look it up, dude. I'm gonna look it up. If it is, everything makes sense. And I'm a hater on the Irvine Company,
dude,
because they did it on purpose. No,
Well, Ryan, I'm pretty sure it is going to be that, because I'm pretty sure that's why Illuminati popped into my head, because I'm pretty sure they do Illuminati type things, and that would be trying to force you into the Spectrum Center by controlling the buildings that are immediately around you.
Yep, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Did you look it up? It's Irvine?
I'm trying to figure it out right now.
I bet it is, dude, because they're big. they have some serious pull in the city of Irvine, which makes sense.
Well, they're
'cause
called
it's
the Irvine Company.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're part of like I don't know, some sort of conglomerate, and they just, in every city they're at, they just call themselves the City Company. And like nobody's done that in the past because it's such a boring name, you know?
Yeah.
Dell
But
EMC
that's what kind of
Irvine.
makes it even more villainous, is that it's just called the Irvine Company. Dun, dun, dun.
It is, dude.
We knew it. I mean,
Are you kidding me?
of course it is, Ryan.
135 Technology Drive.
It's either a simulation or
Get
it's
this too.
it's set up for
You know what the address of my
fail.
office is?
What's up?
135 Technology Drive.
Oh, nice. Yeah. They
Yep.
literally said, hey.
It's built by the Irvine
Yeah.
Company.
Yeah.
Everything makes sense now, and I don't
And
know what to think about it, dude.
well, Ryan,
that sucks, dude.
You
They've got a monopoly in Irvine.
Yeah.
They got a monopoly on my business
They
center.
do.
They can't have.
They do.
They can't have a Starbucks or something close to me. I gotta go to the Spectrum.
You have to go to the Spectrum.
I mean, to be fair, the Spectrum is pretty close, but it's like a.
There's a lot of options at the Spectrum.
There is everything.
Which again is what they're doing, because they're like, you gotta come here if you want anything.
You want food, water? It's right here.
I am very pissed though that they don't have a Nike store.
Do they not?
Come on.
Do they have a
They don't have a
row
Nike
of
store.
like,
It's disappointing.
you know
Nike,
how
of course.
Rodeo Drive is like kind of in LA? Do they have
Yes,
like a
yes.
row? They do.
Well,
at the
wait.
Spectrum?
Are you finish that thought about Rodeo Drive and the comparison between Rodeo
Well,
Drive?
it's all like designer, blah 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 blah.
Oh, you're asking
Do
about
they have-
designer stores.
Yeah.
They got some. I mean, they got some more expensive stores,
But there's not like a row. That's
But there's
like,
not like a row of
okay,
like
okay. Well, that's good.
Louis Vuitton,
We haven't completely lost
Balenciaga,
it.
like
Yeah.
But hey, if you're looking for straight designer,
Mm-hmm.
there's a. You go down the 405 north a little bit further from Irvine Spectrum, about 12 miles down the 405 north
Mm-hmm.
from the Irvine Spectrum. You get to the South Coast Plaza, which is another mall
Ooh,
in
where's
the
this?
OC.
What city? South Coast. Is it
It's
Huntington?
it's 12. All I can give you, Ryan. It's 12 miles down 405 north from Irvine Spectrum.
I don't even know.
Well,
Dude, I haven't even taken
wherever that puts you in terms of location, all I know is it's Orange County. It's called the South Coast Plaza, and it is a mall that only has designer stores.
Really?
With the exception of like a Starbucks and like a Lego store. But yeah, no, it's all.
Wow, that's so interesting.
It's all Louis V, Gucci.
Oh, it's in Costa Mesa. Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
Who would have thought?
It's like the. Yeah, I mean, it's what I think of when I think of bougie. Like the word, bougie means. Like everything is expensive, and most of the stores have like a waiting. Like you got to wait in line because like you have to like go through the store with the security guard, and it's
honestly, people are so stupid. Why would you spend your money on
why
something
would you
like that?
spend your money?
Dude, I know I'm going off a tangent right now, but people really have no care in the world for like using energy and stuff. And I'm talking about gas. On the way home, driving on the way home, I take the toll because typically it'll take me an hour to get home versus 30 minutes. And I'm like, every time I'm like, all right, I'll just pay it.
Dude, bite the bullet.
Anyways, we're going up this massive hill. And it's like, if you want to go above 60, you got to put your foot down, right? So what do? I get in the right lane because I'm like, I'm not going to just
chill.
burn gas like that. People are flying up this 70 in Escalades and F-150s. I'm like, you guys, gas is so expensive right now. Like you're burning double what you, maybe even triple what you could be just by taking it chill, just relaxing a little bit.
If you ever see a big car on the road,
Yeah.
that doesn't have the appearance of that's a work vehicle,
Yeah.
just know they don't give a fuck about
Dude,
gas and gas money. They
It's
don't care.
insane. It's
They
like
don't
they're
care.
flying up it. Even if you're in a sedan and you're going 70, you're just wasting so much gas.
And
It's
I don't
insane.
even think it's about. They're not even. It's not even a fuck you to the environment or like a fuck you to their wallet. It's fuck you to patience. That's what it is.
I think so too.
It's like they're gonna take the faster alternative. They don't. It's like people who pay for first class.
Yeah.
Or people who buy passes to Disneyland. It's like, fuck it, I'm just going to spend a boatload of money because I don't want to wait for X and Y.
Yep.
It's like people who pay for the no ad plan on Hulu.
Hulu does have ads. I always forget that.
I pay for the ad plan because I'd rather pay $6 than fucking $9 a month or whatever.
Or
it
you
is.
can get the Disney Plus bundle where you get.
I
the
have
ad
that
plan.
too.
No, you don't.
I do have the Disney Plus. I pay $12.99 for ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and Hulu. The
Then why
Hulu
do
ads.
Oh,
Because it's $6 for the Hulu ads and it's $7 for the Disney Plus.
Well, plus ESPN.
That's the free. That's the thing they
That's
throw
the
in for
for
free,
free,
because
but
nobody cares about it.
In reality, you're just getting all for whatever,
For what you're
$14.99
paying.
or whatever it is.
Whatever.
I thought you meant you're paying for the bundle and Hulu on the
No,
side.
no,
I was
no,
like,
no,
dude, you should not do that.
I'm not doing that. Not doing that. No.
All right, dude, we should close this out, huh?
Yeah, let's
We've
wrap
been
her
going
up.
for a while.
Let's wrap her up.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
114. We have a potential bounty hunter coming on the show within the next few episodes.
We're gonna figure it out.
Potential. We're going to figure that out. But I can guarantee one thing. Episode 115 will, like I said earlier, will be a zombie-themed episode, so that will be fun.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing about this.
I talked about this a couple episodes ago.
Oh, okay.
But here's the 114 and the last sip we saved for us.
Please like, comment, subscribe. We love y'all.
Peace.